KKR is taking on RR is happening in Guwahati. And when we talk about this big game, Harsha, the big talking point is the home boy is going to be captaining in front of the home crowd, Riyan Parag.
He's got 3 games as captain and now he's going back to Guwahati. The one thing that struck me when he was captain last time was he didn't bowl a single over.
He didn't.
And he normally comes in and bowls a couple of overs. He's done that for India as well in the odd games that he's played. So I don't know if he's a little bit under pressure, but in Guwahati, and I've been to Guwahati a few times, they don't get a lot of players from there who are good enough to be at the national level. They've had 2 or 3, but Riyan Parag is by some distance a poster boy. So it's all going to be about Riyan Parag coming back to Guwahati as captain of Rajasthan Royals. So he's in a sense, he's almost got to ensure that he doesn't let that play on him.
Yes.
And remember, the team that loses there now would have lost
2 games.
Two on the trot. So there's a bit of pressure on both of those.
And also due a major concern in that
That's what I read.
That's what I read.
I can't recall top of my head, but that's what I read.
And
again,
so it will be a chasing night.
Yeah.
So both teams will want.
And also a high scoring.
Much earlier nightfall.
Yes.
I mean, I was in Kolkata, and in Kolkata by 5:36 it starts to get dark, even though we are entering summer. Guwahati is a further hour's flight away to the east. So it'll start getting darker earlier. If there's a big temperature drop, they'll probably be due earlier.
Michael, we'll have a look at that squad, but Archer will want to forget what happened in the first game because no bowler wants to remember those figures of 76 runs. So he will want to come back pretending like this is his first game.
Yeah, and I can't imagine they'll make too many changes. You can't really after one game. I guess the only change that they may look at is Hasaranga to come in. Yeah. You know, to have another.
For Farooqi.
Yeah, maybe for Fazal Farooqi. I personally would go with another leg spinner. I just think having spinners in the middle, or even at the start, or even down the back end that can just spin it either way. I guess the dew factor is really bad. They might be worried about bowling second, and obviously spinners bowling with a wetter ball. I know you can have the ball changed now, but it still will only take a few balls to get it wet once again. But that'd be the change. I wouldn't change any of the batting. The batting was fine, but I would just look at maybe Hasaranga in for Fazal Farooqi.
All right, we'll move to KKR then. The big positive, I'll try and say it with a straight face and not be biased.
Can we get a close-up on the anchor, please? Even more. Yeah.
But the big positive, he played really, really well. His form is a big positive, but the concern being the middle order because, you know, it can either blow hot, blow cold. Unfortunately, the other day, it didn't quite go well for KKR. So the concern
they got stifled by spin. So there's an interesting thing. I think Deepu had put up some numbers on Cricbuzz as well. That with the KKR team, almost all of them, the strike rates drop when spin comes on. So they might, if it's a dewy day, they might like it actually. But if it isn't, then do they move Sunil Narine down the middle and use him as a destroyer of pace, much like India used Shivam Dube in the World Cups, just saying your job is go and demolish spin, open with Rahane, and let's use Sunil Narine as a middle overs floater to take on spin. Because you see, even in this game in Kolkata, the moment spin came on,
they just choked up.
It came up. Krunal Pandya got 3, and then the Suyash Sharma came and got Andre Russell, and the game changed. So that is the one issue they will have to target about what they will do if there's with spin.
There's another reason why Hasaranga will play.
Yes.
He'll play against KKR because of that issue they have against spin.
But do you think Gurbaz should make way for Quinny de Kock, or it's too early in the...
I don't believe you should be. Unless there's a complete difference in terms of surface and you're changing your formation. After one game, you shouldn't really be changing your side. You know, they'll look at it. Maybe the tactics of Ajinkya could have been a little bit better. You know, he used Varun Chakravarti earlier than expected, not Sunil Narine, so no Andre Russ. You're kind of looking at a few of the tactical manoeuvres that could be different, but it's one game. You know, I can't imagine there's going to be too many changes.
Well, Rajasthan have won 3 out of their 5 games against KKR. I'm sure these matchups, play-ups are all over social media. I'm sure players see it as well. But
I don't mind seeing those within a 3-year cycle. But given that there's such a big auction and the teams look so completely different, I don't think the head-to-head records count for as much.
Yes.
If the pitches don't change that much, then records at a particular surface might count. But given that there's a big auction every 3 years, I don't think we should worry too much about head-to-head record, because in whose mind is the head-to-head record? Is it in Rahane's mind? But hang on, I was at Chennai last time.
Well, you're a player to watch out for didn't play today.
I know, that was good, wasn't it? Washington Sundar. He should have played, they'd have won. Who am I going to look out for tomorrow? Sunil Narine. I think all-round quality. I actually love the way he bowls, but I like the way he bats as well. Rajasthan, I'm going to go with... who am I going to go with for Rajasthan? I'm going to go Jofra Archer. I'm going to go Jofra. Yeah, I'm going to go Jofra Archer. He's going to make a comeback.
I'd like to see more variations from Jofra, though. I know he has them, but we saw in India as well that he just sticks to one pace, one length, and keeps going. He used to go lovely.
The only concern I have with Jofra is I think those variations and those slow balls that were so effective 2 or 3 years ago, I just wonder whether, because of his action change, I just wonder whether the batters are seeing that variation change a little bit earlier than probably 2 or 3 years ago. But I'm going to give him a second chance.
Yeah,
he's going to do better.
For you then?
Sanju Samson.
That was quick, all right.
Yeah, Sanju Samson, because I
but
think...
what about the home boy?
Yeah, he's fine. He batted 3 the other day, which was interesting. He's batted 4 all of last year. But I just think if Sanju gets going, he makes a lot of difference to everybody else around him. Yashasvi is due a big score. I actually think Yashasvi Samson, in my head, in the mind, could rival Head and Abhishek.
On a good day.
Yeah, they've got that power. So I think Sanju Samson is critical there for Rajasthan Royals.
And KKR?
For KKR, I mean, Sri Lanka's still a bank, right? But they want a lot more from Andre Russell.